Over 42,000 attendees. Never underestimate what the Tokyo Ham Fair can deliver. From game-changing gear to jaw-dropping demos, we've got the hottest highlights right here. Let's dive in. What went down in Tokyo this year? Welcome back to HamShackTV, folks. I'm Josh, AA4WX. Appreciate you coming in. The 47th annual JARL, Japan Amateur Radio League, I think is correct, hit Tokyo on August 23rd and 24th at the, and if I pronounce these wrong, I apologize, the Ariake GYM-EX. And it was the amateur radio show of the year. This is what I understand is the largest ham fest every year. I'm going to give you a quick photo here of the ham fair. Now, I will, full disclosure, I did not attend the ham fair. I would love to do that one year. That's not happening just yet. But here you go. This is some photos. Here's the Icom booth and the Kenwood booth and the Diamond booth, Alenco, Asden. I'm not familiar with Asden, and also the Comet booth as well. So a little bit more modern looking booth than what you see here in the United States. This is a big aerial overview here. Not sure if this is a boneyard in the foreground, but you can see the commercial show floor there. This looks like almost like a big arena of some sort, just not seeing any stands there. And then we'll scroll over let's see if there's any more photos here. There's a little bit closer up view of the booth here. You can see they're talking about the TS990 at the booth, as well as the THD75, which we have one of those. And then this is blocked, so we'll go ahead and take that down. I don't know why that particular image is not showing up, but appreciate those videos that were posted out publicly. So it was again held at the Ariake, not like Iraq, the country, but Ariake GYM. That was the same venue that it was held in 2024. The first day kicked off with a ribbon cutting ceremony around 9:45 a.m. Japan Standard Time. Then the doors swung open to the public shortly after. Booths? Yeah, they were packed. You saw them in the pictures there. Over 42,000 radio enthusiasts squeezed in over 2 days. I believe that's a bigger number than Huntsville, Dayton, and Orlando. For sure. Beyond the showroom floor, there were stages, workshops, homebrew contests, the iconic special station 8 Juliet 1 Hotel Alpha Mike, and even an eyeball party for the community. So here's the highlights of the gear this year. The Icom IC 7300 Mark II. We talked about that in an earlier video as well. This was the star of the show. Real upgrades, not just a fresh paint job. Features such as the HDMI output, audio via HDMI, USB-C with dual COM ports, and LAN support for remote ops. This is a genuine user-focused overhaul. Really excited about that. Kenwood's TMD75. This isn't new to the show. Matter of fact, if you went to Dayton, you saw the TMD75. It's sitting there under glass. It's the first rig to properly combine APRS and D-Star in one box. And it's equipped with built-in Wi-Fi for seamless networking. Still don't know if we have a release date on that yet, but hopefully it's coming soon. I'm hoping it'll either be out before Orlando or before Dayton in 2026. AOR's DV3. This is a modern split from the aging DV1. Faster, more reliable, and poised for software updates. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what that is. I know DV's digital voice, but I'm just going off the research that I've done here. Let's see here. Uniden came back to the fair after a 40-year absence with a new wideband scanner, the BC160WED, and a nostalgic 1975 tempo transceiver packed with a throwback charm. Then there was the Yaesu booth. My understanding, not so great. The booth mostly rehashed the the FTX1, also known as the Fielder Optima, but it's falling short. No network interface and no answers on remote operations plans. The crowd reaction was tepid at best. FreeDV took the stage. Their team had a strong presence with a live demo booth and a 50-minute main stage lecture showcasing digital voice over HF and exciting RAID modes. That's RADE modes. A meaningful moment, the Malaysian Amateur Radio Transmitter Society, or MARTS, attended again, strengthening ties along amateur communities and exchanging technical insights. So what this means for you. Icom's Mark II is not a modern refresh. It is the rig operators have been asking for. Again, HDMI, USB-C, LAN contesters, or LAN opportunities, contesters, and digital mode users. Sit up and pay attention. This radio is a game changer. That is a HamShack guarantee, or HamShackTV guarantee. This Mark II, and I have no affiliation with Icom. I'm just a big fan of their products. This radio will be a game changer. Mark my words. Kenwood's TMD75 or 750, I should say. It may set a new standard for VHF and UHF rigs, APRS, D-Star, and Wi-Fi. The future forward mobile comms working soon. My notes say today, but soon. It's not been released yet, but this may set a new standard. Again, AOR's DV3. I'm not quite sure what that is. I need to do a little bit more research on that. But goodbye waiting and hello modern capability. And then finally, once again, Yaesu's FTX1. No networking, no remote. Sounds outdated in a time when everything else is offering connectivity. Closing thoughts here. Tokyo's Ham Fair 2025 delivered innovation, nostalgia, and a good dose of you can do better. Looking at you, Yaesu. Wow. I'll be honest with you, folks. I do use ChatGPT for some of my notes, but boy, what a shot. But the real winner was you, the ham radio operator. Competition is fuel. And this year, the fire is raging. Want a shot at a IC7300 Mark II or more on Kenwood's TMD75 release? Hit subscribe. Leave a comment. Let's watch the ripples from Tokyo hit our shacks around the world. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video. 73's AA4WX WSCB 693.